Vindication is independent filmmaker Bart Mastronardi's feature-length psychological horror movie, based on his award-winning short, a morality tale about a young man whose attempt at suicide fails, causing his guilt to manifest into reality. Vindication is completed and is now awaiting major film festival circuiting for 2009. Plot. Director Bart Mastronardi's Vindication is a coming-of-age psychological horror thriller about Nicholas Bertram, whose attempt at suicide fails, causing his own guilt to manifest into reality, sending the confused young man off on a path of self-discovery that is filled with terror, madness, and horror. At the age of 20, Nicholas Bertram is a first-year art student at college whose career appears to be on the right track. But Nicholas' life has been filled with the guilt of unfortunate certain events. With no money and barely able to pay for college, Nicholas eases his guilt as a cutter, someone who leaves slashes of razor marks on his body due to emotional pain. His only friend that he confides in is his roommate, Michelle Rodriguez, a young gay man majoring in art with Nicholas. Michelle tells Nicholas of his own father who beat him for being gay, but informs Nicholas that the guilt Nicholas holds onto will show no mercy unless Nicholas learns to accept it and move on in his life. After class, Nicholas decides to visit his father for some help but doesn't receive a warm welcome from his dad. After leaving his father's place, Nicholas returns to his apartment. Out of an act of despair, Nicholas decides to end his life by slitting his wrist in his bathtub. Only Nicholas survives his bloody suicidal attempt, releasing the guilt inside of him to manifest into reality, which directs Nicholas to finally come out to live the life he was destined to live. Nicholas' very own conscious manifests into reality, calling itself Comshens, who tell Nicholas to listen to the apparitions as they will appear to him and give Nicholas directions on his new path. Each apparition directs and reminds Nicholas to realize guilt will continue to show no mercy unless he accepts the truth of who he is in life. Nicholas knows he must vindicate himself on this horrific journey, which leads a trail of blood, murder, madness and mayhem. Cast. Production. The cast and crew deserve so much of the credit for making Vindication, as they have stuck with me through the whole process. That is a lot to ask of people for no little money. But as production grew, it just kept getting better, as did the movie itself, explains Bart. Working on an ultra-low budget of less than $200,000, Vindication prides itself on being filmed with an independent spirit of filmmaking, as it is a movie of finding one's path of self-discovery and accepting oneself, which just happens to be told within the horror genre. For Nicholas Bertram, his path of accepting himself is both painful and horrifying. And as with all great tragedies, this journey of self-discovery, it is a process that is something far greater in than Nicholas ever imagined himself to be. Vindication is a visual horror movie influenced by great pieces of tragedy, theater, literature, and great movies and, of course, classic horror films. Bart directed his focus on making sure that Vindication is more of a chilling personal story for the movie's tragic protagonist, Nicholas Bertram, through utilizing the cinematic elements of filmmaking, story, music, sound, cinematography, editing and acting. All great movies, especially the horror genre, have always been about that roller coaster ride of building up the emotions through those elements. Bart says, so by utilizing the elements of filmmaking and placing them within the horror genre, created the chilling world of Nicholas Bertram in Vindication. Vindication is completed and is now awaiting major film festival circuiting for 2009. On Saturday, December 13, 2008, the cast and crew screened Vindication to a packed house. After the screening, Mr. Clive Barker personally spoke via speakerphone to congratulate the cast and crew of the movie. Upon seeing the movie, Mr. Clive Barker is fully supporting the film to see proper distribution, post-production and distribution. In April 2010, Vindication was released for distribution by R² Films. Vindication played at the June 2009 NYC Fangoria Magazine Weekend of Horror convention at the Jacob Javits Center. Reception: eloquent, original and deeply felt. Vindication is a triumph. The film delivers shock after shock, horror upon horror, creating scenes that are intensely beautiful and immensely bloody at the same time. Writer-director Bart Mastronardi has made a film with brains, balls and beauty, which has dug deep for characters we care for, played with an extraordinary cast of new faces with passion and power. This is a taste of what a real horror movie looks and feels like. Clive Barker. References: List of horror films of 2006. Fangoria Magazine. Gay of the Dead. Bart Mastronardi's Vindication. http www.fangoria.com. Index. PHP. Blogs. Gay of the Dead. 311. Gay of the Dead. Vindication. Writer-director Bart Mastronardi. Part 1. External links. Official site. Vindication at the Internet Movie Database. 1. Official site.